too old. Here! Marie with the lurk, Naru with the first, Christian with the membership. Marshall! The one that works crazy hours! How are y'all doing today? I got a story for you all while we figure out... Hold on. Is AC working? Hold on, let's do a little switchy to AC real quick. Uh-oh. Boo! That's gonna be an issue. Okay. Oh, yes, it works. Perfect. I was about to be a non-AC story only stream today. Oh man. I'm on the last few hours of it. Oh. I wish we can give nicknames to everybody in our chat, because I think I will come up with some interesting names for everybody. Marcel, I gotta have to think of a name for you. Or 24-hour shifts on the regular. Dude, that's a lot for me. I know I've said that many times before, but for you, I'm sure it feels normal now, but never could I ever. So, I got a feeling the story I'm going to share with you all today. I want to say I hope none of you all can relate to this, but I got a feeling at least half can relate to this. And I also just realized I put myself on the wrong side of the car. I guess I'm in Europe today. Or actually, is it all of Europe? I'm being ignorant here. I think it's the UK, right, that drives on the other side of the road. I have no idea if it applies to all of Europe. And New Zealand. So hold on, we're in Europe today, I guess. I was like, wait, hold on, Lucky should be here. I should be over there for the right side of the road. Hey, you know what? Mail truck drivers in America, they drive on the correct side of the road, but the driver's seat's on this side. So a little bit of a backstory for you all. What we're gonna do while I share the stories, I'm gonna hop back and forth between this frame and Animal Crossing, because we do need to do a little shopping. I hope you all are doing well. I miss you all. I got a fun story about this week, but I need to give you all a huge backstory. Before I give you the story, it'll make sense, but with context it would help. Ooh, cold coat. Enjoy the cold coat, Marie. So I think the majority of everybody here has their driver's license at this point. When I was a kid, I wanted this car, a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, so bad. And I think the majority of us wanted a nice car. Maybe not a sports car, but some kind of nice, reliable car, right? For me, when I was 16 years old, and to all the young boys watching, I was told, well, that isn't Ferrari. I was told nice cars picked up girls. That's why, on my end, I wanted a nice car. Because girls love nice cars. It's what my 16-year-old self knew. And was facts and truth. Y'all can look it up. My first car ever, I have to admit, for a 16-year-old, wasn't this car. Well, it was close to this car. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up a Google image to show you all. Hold on. Let me show you all what my first car was. And I'm gonna be fully honest. For a teenager, not the best move. Not the best move for a teenager. So my first car ever was this car. A Toyota Celica GTS. Where is it? Actually looked legit almost. Hold on. like this. That was my first car for a whopping $1,500. That was my first car ever. A Toyota Celica GTS. Almost looks just like this with a different hood. What I learned really quick on the first day, then you got your Ferrari. Yeah, Daru, if I had I did drive a Ferrari once. I have a story about that. But this car here was my first lesson in life. One of the first of many. Cars, nice cars, the sporty looking cars are great at attracting other guys. In my head, when I got into this car, I thought I was gonna be pulling all the ladies. My first car was the C. Honestly, Marsha, that's a nice car. 60s, they made some nice cars back then. This happened to be my first car. And what happened was, those that don't know cars, you have different engines, right? I'm sure you all heard of like 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder. My dad gave it. Oh, ooh, that's a nice gift. This was a 4-cylinder car. The car Michelle was talking about, at minimum, I think, correct me wrong, I think it was a 6, right? Or was it an 8? Hold on, because there's different versions of it. 68 Mustang. How many cylinders? For those that don't know cars, to give you a rough ballpark, not the best analogy ever. 6. Hey, it's a 6. This was Michelle. Oh, Michelle, this thing is a beauty. In general, not all the time, but in general, the more cylinders you have, the faster the car. But the more cylinders you have, the more complex, quote unquote, gets with like the cooling and a few things, right? He painted purple. Oh, I did have a purple car. Love it. So there's a car. I think the majority of everyone knows. It is called a Corvette. Well, obviously not this. This is way back when I was 16. So this year, looking at 2000 and to date myself, 7, I think. 2007 or 2008 was when I got the Toyota Celica. And what happened was there was a car accident, I don't know where, that wrecked somebody's Corvette, totaled it completely. I'm guessing this person drove really fast. But what happened was, at the junkyard where the car ended up going, my friends and I, the more mechanical engineering friends, the ones that actually do work, have parents that actually work in cars, knew what they were doing. We were able to grab the engine from the Corvette, push the dash, like the center area of your car, back a little bit and move the seats back. We had to do a lot of work on this car, and we were able to get the Corvette engine in there. 16-year-old with a few 17-year-old and like one 18-year-old friend. We were able to get the Corvette engine inside this thing. And those that don't know, the 4-cylinder is like small, and 8-cylinder is a lot bigger. When I was a kid, my neighbor gave me a small buggy. Oh, and then I'm assuming totaled his car. Too bad my dad didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. So when you give a kid a car, I'm calling myself a kid at the time. 16. I'm a kid. You put a nice Corvette engine there. I thought I was the top of the world. But what happens is when non-mechanics work on cars, just going off of what you get in books, my car, a few months later, trying to drive it really fast down the highway, caught fire. I completely forgot about something called cooling. Those that don't know cars, engine works to push the the transmission that pushes the wheels to go forward or backwards. But you want to make sure the engine stays a certain temperature. The Celica cooling system was designed for a 4-cylinder Celica engine, not a Corvette. So that is how I lost my first car. I didn't get a car since then. But my parents, as a gift for me not dropping out of high school and actually going to college, they, with my family, got me a very used but nice Lexus. This was back in the day. It was called a Lexus SC430. This was my second car. This was my second car. And let me tell you something. Going from the Celica to this, I didn't know what to say to my parents. I appreciate them so much. They sacrificed a lot to get me this car. But I got a story about this car. Because I told you, in my mindset at the time, cars equals girls. When I got this car, I had a girlfriend. I just got a girlfriend as I got this car. My parents were not the biggest fan of my girlfriend at the time. At all. So they made a deal with me. I owned this car for a total of 3 months. 3 months. To give you a foreshadow right there. 3 months I was with this car. At the 3-month mark, they told me I get to either keep the car and break up with the girlfriend, or I sell the car, give it back to him essentially, and keep the girlfriend. I don't know what y'all would have done, but I was 18. I believed in true love. I believed when people are meant to be, they're meant to be, right? So I said, car's not important. The Celica didn't pick up any girls. I am giving up this car to my parents. And I will be with my girl. Fast forward 1 month later, we break up. Oh man, yeah. Let me tell you something. I admit, to this day, that Lexus was my favorite car at this point. So recently I was tired when setting up Spotify on my mom's car media, so I gave her a USB with, hey, listen, that works. That works. So my third car was one of these. A Scion TC. But I knew I was smart enough at this time not to put another car's engine in there. And this is more one of the recent models. I got one of the first ones that came out way back. Of course, it was used. At this point, all my cars I ever owned were used. Brian! How are you doing? So this right here was my third car. A little beat up, but it got the job done. That was my third car. And I had this baby for the longest time. We've been through so much in this car, from getting a little bumper rub on the right side behind because of another person. First time I ever hydroplaned was in this car. Brian, I don't know. I'm assuming you have a driver's license, right? Because I got stories for you about my driving history. I hope you're doing well, Brian. So for everyone coming in and that's still lurking, this is the third car I ever owned, the Scion TC. I did something with this car. Instead of the engine like I did with the first car I had, what I ended up doing with this car was I bought something called a supercharger. Those that don't know how engines work. Engines essentially, you need... Engine's just a machine that takes in air, electricity, which comes from spark plugs. So those are the things you have to replace from time to time. You have spark plugs, air, and gasoline. You need those three to make the engine go boom, so the car can go forward, right? A supercharger and there's something also called a turbocharger. They both work a little bit differently, but the principle is the same. They force air into the engine, so more air equals more power. This car was great until somebody rear-ended me on this car. I was driving, went to a yield sign. What do you do at yield sign? You yield to the cars coming by. Unfortunately, the person behind me didn't know there was a yield sign and drove right into my back. I'm gonna show you sauce. When that happened, there wasn't a major like visual damage, but there was damage underneath that we didn't see at the time. There was like a little scuff action going on back here. I actually do not have a driver's license. I'm old enough. I'm old enough, just not too great at driving. Brian, if you can't hang around Lurk, I got a story for you in a second related to that. But I honestly wish, I don't know where you live, Brian, but I wish I lived in an area where I can use buses and trains regularly instead of cars. That's the one thing I hate about America. There's a few things I hate about America. And I love America for other things. But one thing is I hate our over-reliance on cars in America. Because you go to any other country, you have multiple options. Unless you live in New York City or Cali, I think. I don't know Cali that well. You're kind of screwed. You need a car. No car, you essentially are stuck. No job, no life or anything unless you get a job near your house, which is really hard to find. So, there's a scuff mark here. The driver at the time went out before the cops came, hired a cleaning crew from the car wash down the street to come and clean up the smudge. Mind you, I was about 22, I think 22, 23 maybe at the time, versus this really big guy. So they just cleaned the car up and the cop was about to just write it off like, oh, you're fine. But thankfully I called my parents at the time. They're like, no, go through insurance, do not let them write it off. And thankfully, because they went through the insurance, they found out a lot of damage underneath the car, and the car ended up getting totaled. And because I bought the car for a whopping $4,000 and it was damaged and used, so the insurance company only gave me, because of depreciation value, they gave me for this car $2,000. $2,000 might sound like a lot, but for cars, $2,000 is pocket change, unless you're getting a really old, beat up, broken car. So, what did I do? I got a job out of college that paid, mind you, this is back in 2010. I started a job, and the salary they offered me was $21,600 for the year. Inflation calculator. All right, let's see how much that is today. So enter the year. If 1990 I purchased an item for, so in the year 2010 I purchased an item, so this would be my salary, so $21,600. Then in 24, calculate, I would be making $31,000 in today's date, but at the time it was only $21,000. And for those that don't live in America, 21,000 and 31,000, you subtract 30% for taxes. So I wasn't making that much. I think I was bringing home every 2 weeks was like $400 or $500. Somehow for 4 years, from 2010 to 2014, I saved and saved because I was living with my parents. And I just word of advice for anyone listening that's young, putting money into a car is the worst thing you could do. I'll tell you right now. Not the worst, but one of the worst things you could do is put money into a car. I have something 32 in 4 months. I have made. Dang, Marshall, can you hire me? Jenny, how you doing? So this is how much I made when I graduated from college in 2010. $21,600. Jenny, thank you for becoming a member for 9 months and having a baby. A baby lucky. So for $21,000. So what I did, because I live with my parents, the place I worked at gave me 21 grand, and they did not give me a raise, believe it or not, for a long time. So I was stuck at that salary. But I saved. You know how much I saved? Classy! You know how much I saved? I saved exactly $34,500. And I'm going to tell you right now, for everyone young watching, unless you have expendable income, saving up for other things or investing your money, so much better than a car. But what I ended up doing was buying this car. Hold on, let me show you. I'm going to get the exact model and trim and everything. Oh, I lied. I did not save $35,000, whatever dollars. That was the total price of the car I bought. I saved about $20,000. My parents, I have stories about my parents I'll share with y'all in the future. I love my parents. You know, just like I'm sure some of y'all relationship with your parents, you don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but most of the times you do. Some things you do. I was still fortunate enough they still cared about me. My mom and my dad, they gave me about $14,000 or $15,000, I think. So almost half of what I saved. So for the first time ever, I was about to buy a brand new car in 2014. And this was gonna be my baby. And the reason I got this car, because I still had my 16-year-old mindset. For those that are coming in right now, my 16-year-old mindset was, nice car, I get girls. For those that came in chat, the first car I bought was a $1,000 sports car because at 16 years old, I was told, and I believed it, if you have a nice car, all the girls come to you. Because a car is more important than anything else. More important than anything else a girl would look for in a guy. That's all I gotta say, right? To all the ladies in chat, forget personality, forget how the person treats you, forget everything else. The car, right? So I still had that mentality just a smidge. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get a nice car. And there's a car that James Bond drove. It's called an Aston Martin. Those that don't know, Aston Martin's about 150 grand on the low end. But what happened was Ford, the company Ford, they purchased Aston Martin. They took the aesthetics of an Aston Martin and bought it to one of their cars. And this happened around the time I saved up that 20 grand and my parents were willing to pitch in the other half, right? I need to go take care of laundry and make breakfast left. Oh, enjoy. Classy. Enjoy your laundry. Enjoy your breakfast. I personally love doing folding up laundry. It's nice smells. But thank you for stopping by, Classy. I had a 1990 Civic that was passed down from my older brother and my mom. Liz, Jenny. Copper! Brings! 19 months! How are you? Brings! Drive by. Oh, no worries, Ray. Thank you for stopping by. The car finally died in me 2018. I was, oh, Jenny, I'm sorry. Well, we'll get to the car in a second. Those that are not in the Discord, I encourage you to join the Discord or follow me in the community post here in YouTube, because I don't have the pictures today, but I will show you the aftermath of the situation. But in my head, till this day, I thought driving these kind of cars would get the ladies. Listen, if you have to get a car and you are young, ideally get a Toyota, but they can be pricey. Get a Japanese cars. Those things are tanks on wheels in terms of reliability. If you don't take anything away from the stream and you are young or you're looking for a car, look for a reliable Japanese car. Lucky looked like he's enjoying the road trip. Falling asleep. I can't join. Oh, you can't join my Discord? Did I ban you by accident? I only say that because I was trying to figure out how to get rid of bots, and I know I banned a few people that weren't supposed to be banned. Wait, did I ban you, Copper? If I did, I will try to figure out how to unban you. Trying such a childless. Japanese will last forever, yes. Just me, how do I unban you? I got you, Copper. I'll figure it out how. I'll figure it out how somehow. A nice friendly man is saying, I me up the other day at the hardware store. He had a nice truck. When you get to a certain point in life, signaling changes a little. Hey, me. You didn't ban me, your mod said. Oh, I'll have to figure it out, Copper. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll have to look back at everything. But I will share pictures of the story I'm going to share in a bit in the Discord and on community tab for those that don't want to join the Discord. Or in Copper's case, if I can't figure out how to unban you. In the city, I have a job trips roads are 99% full. Yeah. So, this was the car I ended up buying brand new. This was my baby. This car has been with me from 2014 till now. This thing looks like an Aston Martin. This thing had a backup camera. And I know Ford did not have the best reputation, right? But in my mindset, in 2014, I said, listen, I'm sure any car, no matter the brand, is reliable as long as you take care of it. So anything that came up with this car, anything minor that the mechanic suggested I take, I went with it. The amount of money I put into this car to maintain it, like the second the tires were at half of the life, when you still had half a life to go through, I said, nope, because it's all-wheel drive, I'm putting new tires on this baby. This thing, I babied. If you bought this car from me, you knew I took care of it. I waxed it. I'm telling you how much work I put into it, not because of the money I saved to buy the car, but because of the money my parents sacrificed and they saved to put in this car. So this car had beyond significant value for me, more than the money aesthetics. So I knew I was going to take care of this thing for as long as I could. Like this, I can't emphasize enough. This was my baby. Like, I'm not too much of a materialistic guy, but when it came to this car, the first time I know you all had this feeling when you buy a new car too. The first time somebody gave me a tiny little rock chip, the word Karen didn't exist at the time, but I acted like a Karen to myself because I couldn't blame anybody, so I would just like flail my arms around like, why did this happen to me? Why? This here? I acted like a big giant toddler when there was a tiny rock chip. That's how much I took this car. I babied this car, y'all. But just like anything else in life, as you own stuff over time, like your phone. Think about your phone. For those that don't have cars, think about your phone. When you buy the brand new Android or smartphone or iPhone, you take care of that thing. And then your first time you drop it, I know you all have that panic, like shoot, 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 shoot. You're frantically panicking, picking it up, checking for the scratches, everything works, everything's good. But over time, you start tossing that phone. Like a year later, you're like, oh, it's fine. You drop it, it's like whatever. Screen protector, put it back on. Oh, you scratched the back, whatever. Just put the thing. So eventually, I got to that point with the car. Hold on, let me catch up with chat too. Copper said, I was trying to find out what I had when I had like 100 subscribers, how to post to promote, and nobody ever answered. And I was, I will figure that out, Copper. I honestly will. I'll figure it out. The unbanning part, I gotta figure out how to. I might have to YouTube that. When I bought my first car, I turned left and someone turned right and hit my car. Oh, with wood they had hanging out the back. Oh, I'm sorry, Copper. I'm sorry. So, just to emphasize, y'all, this is my baby. And this baby has been through everything. Like, did you cry? I would. Oh, I didn't cry at the time, but I acted like a little. How would I describe it? When I was telling the story to my friends in more detail, they were describing it like, you ever heard of I think it's called a man cold? Like when guys get sick, even though it's like a minor cold. The way they were describing it, my friend said, it sounded like I had a man cold, but with tears a little bit with the car. Is how she was describing when I was talking about the little bump, tiny bump. And the funny thing is, I bought it to I got a few things that I was able to fix it a few days later. But that happened, and that was the start of my Ford Fusion journey. So that car, like I said, I babied it. And this car, I took all the way to Canada. And this car is not allowed in Canada. Oh, hold on, let me see. I think somebody's at my door. Give me a second. This car was not allowed in Canada. What happened was, I took this car. This was, mind you, I bought it brand new. So when I bought it, I only had like a few miles on there. It was about 20,000 miles, y'all. 20,000 miles. On the way to Canada. On the way to Canada, the check engine light showed up. And it was too late to turn. Those that don't know, I'm from Connecticut. Connecticut is about, I want to say 6 hours away from Canada. And to get to Canada from Connecticut, you have to drive through New York. And New York is where you meet the border of Canada. So when we got to Canada, the check engine light went on. But we learned there's a difference between a flashing check engine light or a solid light. If it's solid light, it's a minor issue, you can drive it. So at the border, it was too late to turn. We were at the border. So we're like, screw it. We went to Canada. All right, y'all don't know. If y'all don't know, if you're from America, yeah, I'm from Connecticut. In Canada, they use kilometers. They don't use mile per hour. When I drove to Canada, I saw 100 kilometers. 100, not the kilometers. I saw 100 kilometers. I got a ticket. I didn't realize. I was excited. I said, "Oh my god, Canada lets you drive 100 miles an hour. Let's go!" Because this car here, this is the high end part of the car. It was fast. It can go up to 160 miles an hour. I was like, dope. 100 miles. Let's go. Why did Canada have to use kilometers? Listen, the whole world revolves around America, right? Can't we just update everything to miles per hour? I can't remember any more car-related stories than me, but If I remind myself about the ones I can tell you without sins, I can. Oh my god. I don't think my car has 160 on the speedo. You sound very American. Americans are backwards. No, we are. We very are. So, but that ticket did get paid off. What did not get paid off was, all right, in Canada, the part we went to, I think it's called Quebec or some of that. Quebec, Canada? I think it was called Quebec. Oh, Quebec. This is where we went. Those that don't know, Quebec. Where is it? Quebec speaks French. They speak French in this country. Or this part of the Canadian part. I drove to New York plenty of times. Can I tell y'all? The street signs in Quebec makes no sense for parking. I'm trying to find an example. There was a literal sign. I wish I had taken pictures of it back then. It was a sign that says like no parking here, but then everything else. But then there was another sign that says like you can park here on certain days. But the rest of the signs were all in French. And mind you, when I went, this was before there was Google Translate. This was before, well, actually Google Translate did exist, but it didn't exist on the phone. It exists on the desktop, not the phone. Needless to say, there was at least like maybe 8, probably realistically 7 signs. I don't remember exactly. 7 to 8 signs on this dang on post of when you can and can't park. There's too many numbers, too many dates. Oh god, it's like a toned down version of this picture here. Toned down version. Needs to say, we came back to many tickets on the car. I was able to Google on the I think it was the original iPhone that came out. Just Google search. Apparently, now this is not legal advice. This is not legal advice. But apparently, you get a ticket in Canada, you still have to pay for it if you ever drive back there. But they don't send you a bill or anything with the ticket. So we just it's been years, never paid it. I just can't take the car back. So that was one journey. And there was this one time when I was in the car. I was picking up my wife from the airport. I arrived early. I turned the car off so I didn't waste gas. What happened was I left the music on playing. So I was playing on my phone, listening to music. The car's battery died. The car's battery died. I want to tell you right now, I approached so many people at JFK. The one person that ended up helping me out was the nicest lady ever. Canadian officers, it was Sam Jennings. Don't tell Danny. Fun facts about, just a little lesson about cars. So those that don't know, in cars you have front wheel drive. Front wheel drive means the front wheels pull the car. Rear wheel drive, that means the back wheels push the car. And then you have all wheel drive, meaning all the wheels spin. The reason I got my car in all-wheel drive because it was available at the top trim, but also those that don't know, Connecticut snows a lot in the winter, so all-wheel drive is best for the snow. If you cannot afford all-wheel drive, two-wheel drive is the best option for the snow then afterwards, because the engine weight is pushing down on the car here, so you have better grip of the ground than you have rear-wheel drive. That being said, all-wheel drive, I didn't know this until later on. If you have a flat, if you have to get one tire changed on a car, you have to get the other tire changed on the other side for any car, right? So it's front wheel drive, you get to change on the other side, so there's even. I feel like I'm listening to my dad talk right now. Sorry, Jenny. I didn't know in all-wheel drive, you have to get all 4 tires replaced. So because of the debacle at JOK, I had to get all tires replaced, even though it was only 1 tire that was an issue. I'm gonna fast forward to, and I'll show you the pictures in the Discord later on. Puppy. Sorry, I got distracted from my dog. Alright. So, fast forward to, I'm gonna skip a few stories that happened with this car. But, there's this one time, this was way back in, I want to say 2016 or 18, I think. I thought about, oh, the battery died, okay. But, sorry, I messed up the story. I also got a flat tire. Sorry. The battery died, the battery worked, then the flat tire happened. That was all JFK. Just note to self, I don't know how the streamers do it with pets in the room. I get distracted by my dog. You see my VTuber look to the side? Any of the sides? It's my puppy. Hey, Layla. Christian! So, one day, I was at work. And when I was at work at this time, I was a supervisor. There is a local radio show that if you call in and you're the 9th caller at the time, you win a cash prize. Guess who called and ended up winning one day? Yours truly. I got the cash prize of $100. I was on a call with my supervisor at the time. I was like, hey, can I close shop 30 minutes early and go claim the money? And she's like, oh, heck yeah. So I only had 1 staff with me at the time. She takes Uber to and from work. So I told her, and I was like, no. I'll drop you off. So she went to my car and we drove. 2 minutes later, I get pulled over by a cop. And I'll share the picture in Discord too. It's literally me taking a selfie with the cop in behind me. The cop approaches my window. And that's the usual thing. License and registration. And you know what? Of course they asked the question, do you know why I'm pulling you over? And I literally didn't. So, he gave me a BS reason. He said I failed to follow a state sign. That was his reasoning. I said, which state sign? And before he answered, he looked at the passenger seat. He sees my staff. For those that don't know, at my last job, I worked with college students. We hired college students to work with another group of students, right? I'm gonna assume, 99% assuming right now, but I'm pretty safe to say it's a fact. The cop was very attracted to my staff. And it was very clear on her face she was not happy that I got pulled over. And it was very clear on her face also she was not happy with what the cop was trying to do. I still remember her face to this day. So the cop was trying to flirt with her. Obviously, and rightfully so, she rejected him. And I guess because of the rejection, he took it out on me and gave me $100 ticket for failing to obey a state sign. And I still don't know what state sign the guy was talking about. Because those that don't know this car here, keep in mind, this is my first modern car. On the, where's the thing at? This thing. There is literally a big giant sign. I think either one of these screens here that has the speed limit of the road you are on. So I know I wasn't breaking the speed limit. I don't know yet, Naru. So he looked at me and says, just pay the ticket. Your insurance won't go up. It just says disregarding state sign. You won't get, your insurance won't go up. I remember that cop's face till this day. I don't remember that many people. I got his face is living in my head rent free. My insurance went up $100 because of that ticket. So not only did I pay $100 ticket, my insurance each month went up $100. So that money I won went straight to the ticket. Would you pay that, especially since he did not? I was thinking about fighting it, but I was like, no. He said I believed the cop because he said the insurance shouldn't go up. So I said, all right, you know what? I'm not about to take a day off, go to the court systems, fight it. I'll just pay it off. Keep it as that. So yes, copper. Oh man, I had good experiences with cops, but unfortunately related to my car, my experiences have been bad. And one time in this car, remember the girl I told y'all about with the Lexus? She calls me one day and tells me she needs a ride and nobody's picking up. And she couldn't afford a taxi to get back to Connecticut. That would have been like about maybe $100 something. She needed a ride. Ex-girlfriend needed a ride. And if it turns out what happened was the guy she was dating at the time was there was a whole situation. Apparently he was hitting her on the plane. So he got arrested. And it was his car, so she couldn't get a ride back. So when she told me that story, I said, yeah, screw it, I'll go pick you up. So I went to pick her up in this car. This one I tried fighting. On the way there, I got pulled over by a cop. Anybody want to play a guessing game as to what I got pulled over for this time? I think if you fight, the cost goes up if you lose. I tried fighting a park. It does? Oh man, I didn't know that. Oh, food. Thank you. I got 4, what are these called? Empanadas. Hey, Layla. Speeding. Yes, Jenny. So, the speed limit for those that don't live in Connecticut on the highway is 55 miles an hour. 55. Guess how much guess how much the speeding ticket was. Not what how much it was. How much I went over the speed limit by. Backwards like Pennsylvania. I'll let y'all guess. Ooh. Thank you. I love my wife. I wish I had a camera on. Y'all can see the food I got. PA is 55. Hey! Just FYI, the worst state to ever speed in is Virginia. They will pull you over there. Not speaking from experience. Actually, I'm not speaking from experience. It was a friend of mine. So, you went over by 5. No, Jenny. I went over by a whopping 1 mile an hour. I should have taken a picture of the speed ticket. I got pulled over on the highway for doing 56 in a 55-mile area. Now, nowadays, if you type into Google or YouTube how to fight a ticket, they have a whole bunch of explanations. I didn't have that at the time. Be careful crossing into Pennsylvania on the west side. The speed limit goes from 7. Oh my god, that's a 20-mile drop. Ooh. Yeah, Connecticut, we got 55, and I got given a ticket for 56 in a 55-mile area. And this is the first time I got pulled over on a highway. And for those that don't know, the driving school is in the United States are different from each other. There's different regulations. In Connecticut, they don't need to teach you how to drive on a highway, believe it or not. They don't even test you how to drive on a highway in our state. I know in Europe, I think you actually do have to go on the highway. In my state, I can't say all of America, but my state, there is no highway testing. The first time I went on a highway, I had to learn how to merge on my own. But one thing no one taught me was that when you get pulled over, you have to pull over to the right no matter what. I was in the left lane. So the cop went from the middle lane over. In my mind, I said, okay, let me just pull over to the left because he's going to approach me from my driver's side door on the left side. It'll be safer for him to be against the barrier instead of me pulling over to the right and him having his body against traffic. That's my mindset. I failed my first driving test for hitting a curb. 3 years later, I still hit. Oh, copper. I'm sorry. If anything, if you do that, just make sure you're getting. If you do that regularly, just get an alignment every year. Save up for an alignment. Just put like a few dollars each month away, so you just get an alignment. That way, your car, it helps your car basically. So I pulled over to the left side. The cop comes out and starts yelling at me. He says, "You know how many tickets I should give you for the way you're driving?" I was like, wait, I was driving bad? I get alignment to A, okay. And he looked at my car, this car, and he says, what, is this daddy's car? I was like, no, they help pay for it, but no, I saved up for, I was like, wait, what? That's my response. And he says, you know, I should give you a ticket right now for pulling over to the left lane. You're supposed to pull over to the right lane. And I gave him the explanation I gave y'all about pulling over to the side so he doesn't have his body against the middle of the traffic. So he said, you know what? Since you actually pulled over, you didn't give me crap. He used an expletive. I'm going to give you the speeding ticket. You went, and he told me a mile over speed limit. I was like, oh, isn't there a 5-mile discrepancy? He's like, no, speeding is speeding, and I'm going to give you that. You should drive safer. You should be below it. He said, you should not have passed me. It took me 10 minutes to pass him because I was doing 55. And it happened when I passed him, I was doing 56. So I fought in court. You know what the judge said to me in court? The same thing the cop said. Speeding is speeding. That is still breaking the law. You're going over the speed limit. How do you plead? And the judge said, if I do not plead guilty, I will have to hire a lawyer, and that'll be extra time, costs, and fees and everything. So I had to say I was guilty. Let's just say those two incidents left a very bad taste in my mouth in my relationship with cops, put it that way. Minus everything else that happened in the world with cops. And I'm going to emphasize this, there are good cops out there. It's just the bulk of my interactions have not been good. And I think those videos would have blown up on the internet had it been recorded. Showing you have bad time with cops. They have a quota to fill. So, okay, I have family members that are cops now. My niece, my nephew, and a few others. I actually asked my niece about this, and then she said there is no quota. And it's just a myth. Because I did ask my niece, I was like, hey, can I get one of those police badge thingies that you can put on the back of your license? So, you know, like a get out of ticket warning thing. She said, no, those are myths too. And I was like, is she either A, lying to me? Or B, she was new at the time and didn't know those existed? I have no idea. I had a guy harass me over a year and the cops wouldn't do a darn thing until I forced it. Oh. Man, I'm sorry, Copper. She might be. So, there are many, many more stories I will share with you about this car. Some hilarious, some sad ones. Oh, a hilarious one. Sad to begin with. An hilarious one, and then I'll jump to the story that happened this week. And if y'all are okay with that, I'm going to open the AC because I do need to do a little shopping on Danny's Island. So, There's this one time. Those that don't know how the car works. This car, there is no keys. It's all automated. This is brand new for me, mind you. This is 2014. This is brand new for me. It's keyless entry. I was excited for that. So what happens is the car, apparently most of the cars come with the default keypad. I didn't know about this on the side. So if you forget your keys, you can actually just enter a bunch of codes and get into the car. So if you want, you can leave your key in the car and just enter the code to go in and out. You don't even carry the keys with you. I was like, oh, fancy. Fancy. Keep in mind, the cars I had before this were all like, you know, mine's Lexus, like all these old cars. So it didn't have any of these features. So I was like, oh, fancy. Fancy smashy. Don't leave your keys in the car. It's likely it won't be. I've done it locked out for a few times. Yes. So, there's this one day. It was not one of my best days. You know, you all had those days where you start off and you know it's gonna be a bad day. In this case, in my case, I went for a job interview, got rejected on the spot. I was told I was overqualified for some reason. I said, isn't that a good thing? But on the company's end, when you're overqualified, they have to pay you more. So they'd rather hire someone that's either just at the level of qualified or underqualified so they can pay less. Went to meet a friend. They had to cancel last minute stuff. A few things. It wasn't the best day. And of course, to top it all off, it started raining. So what ended up happening? Oh, what did Naru say? When I walked on my Naru, we need to switch you from kilometers to miles per hour. To miles. 2-kilometer road. So that's an hour and a half maybe. And to get over to my house, I once lost my earbuds. I found it only 2 weeks later, but it was dead because it was pressed against my legs. Wheels. It was oh, the wheel. Oh, that's what you call them? Legs? I'm sorry though. Oh man, we all have fun stories. So, horrible day. I walked into the car at the garage, because I parked at the garage at the time. Got into my car, and then I realized something as I was in my car. When looking out through the hood, the windshield, I saw dents. And I got out of the car. Y'all, I saw dents everywhere. This mirror was broken. This thing was scratched up. I decided to buy a new pair of AirPods and give a case with working left AirPod to my... Hey, listen, sometimes you just need one. So, dents galore. I'm sure, realistically... Timothy! Hey! Timothy, I read that. Timothy, your last name. I think you know what I was going to say. I read your last name incorrectly really fast in my head because one of the letters in your last name got twisted 90 degrees. I'm sorry, but welcome in, Timothy. I'm trying to tell a story. I read your name incorrectly in my head. Thankfully, I didn't say it out loud. I hope you're having a good Saturday. So, in my head, I'm sure the time span was maybe a minute, but this felt like hours in my head of having a mental, not breakdown. Like, y'all see Inside Out, sadness definitely took over. You know, it's just like, my luck. Of course, this would happen to me of all the days. This would happen on this day. Jenny. Of course, on the day you got rejected by the job, canceled plans, raining, other bad stuff. Came back to realize the car. I know you said. Damaged beyond belief. I got back into the car, pissed off. Those who don't know, the car is a start engine car. I wish I had a picture of it. Oh, there it is. You have a button to hit the start. I hit the start button. Nothing happens. And then on the dash of the car, it said, please, no key fob nearby. I was so confused at that point. Not only was I sad, I was not in the right state of mind to think. I looked outside. I looked up from the windshield of the car. Across from me, right across, like, you have the car parked here, and then you have the space where all the cars move up and down the garage on the other side, was my Ford Fusion. I got to the wrong car. Can I tell y'all, I laugh. I never laughed so hard in my life when I realized somebody did the same thing I did with my car at the time, would just leave the doors unlocked. Yeah. I sat in that car for realistically maybe like 15 seconds, had a good laugh. And I looked on the inside and I was like, yeah, this is not my stuff. I got out, closed the door, got to my and started laughing even more. I saw the video short where one man played on his PlayStation 2 on his car meet. Oh, really? Oh. So needless to say, the horrible day, the car was in completely good shape. No problems at all. Until this week. Those that don't know, I play a game called Pokemon Go. If y'all play and you aren't my friends, feel free to add me. Let me know. I'll give you my friend code. I'm always looking for friends, and if you ever do raids, feel free to invite me. If I have time and I'm paying attention, I will join you. So there is, I think every single city and town, in everyone's city and town area, there's something called the green. I think every town has that. It's like a little big patch of green for everyone just to hang out and have like a nature environment in the middle of like all the city buildings and everything, right? I need my ladder. Dang it. So my wife and I, we parked our car at one of the you know, next to one of the sidewalks to play a little Pokemon. In Pokemon, there's something called routes. Ooh, I did not mean to do that. And I don't know how to turn lights back on. On the routes, you just walk to follow a certain path. As we're walking that path, tell me my luck, I ended up getting stung by a bee. This is the first time I ever got stung by a bee. It was right on my foot. If you ever get stung by a bee, apparently you're supposed to ice it. I was able to pull out the stinger. I don't know what I did to upset that bee, because those don't know what a bee. Bees only have like one good sting in them before they expire. So that means you have to do something really messed up for a bee to sting you. I don't know what I did. Maybe I almost stepped on it by accident, or stepped on one of the flowers it was approaching. I don't know what I did. I was wearing flip-flops. The bee stung me in my foot. Apparently, as that was happening, I heard fire trucks, police sirens, and everything. But I wasn't listening to that because I had a lot of pain in my foot. My wife and I decided to just walk back to the car and head home, because clearly I was damaged goods at that point. So as we head back to the car, I see lights around my car. I was like, shoot, not another cop incident. Did I park it correctly or something? Like, was the cop giving me a ticket for, you know, bad parking or whatever? And then I see a fire truck pull up. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be more than a ticket. As I got closer, I left my wife where she was and I ran to my car. What happened was I saw a car perpendicular, a white car, perpendicular to the rear end of my car. What happened was, I'm gonna paint the image. I'm gonna paint the scenery for you all. There was a white Nissan with the front end against a tree, and then the right side of the Nissan was facing the back end of my car. So what happened was there was this very old lady. Most likely she mixed up the gas and the brake pedal as she was leaving her bank. And she was supposed to turn right. Instead of turning right, instead of braking and turning right, she ended up hitting the gas pedal and going straight into a tree and hitting my car in the process. I overheard on the radio. The lady was fine. As soon as I heard that, my attitude, my demeanor shifted to anger and frustration so fast. Y'all would not have recognized me. On the inside, I was fuming. Because when I took a look at my car on the other side, the whole entire back bumper was gone. One of the wheels was misaligned, so I'm not sure if it was a wheel issue or the whole entire drive system issue. My trunk lid was popped. There was a few other things. The lady's kids came by and apologized. When I told you all the story early, for those that were here early in the stream, what happened was I saved for that car, right? My parents also helped me out. So, needless to say, that kind of added to what was going on in my mind. So, y'all ever get to the point where you were so mad you could have said something and you know it was going to be bad, but it was too late to take it back? So I knew I was at that point. So I was just going to be quiet. I wasn't going to say anything. Hey, Stacy, welcome on in. Like, y'all ever, like put this way, if I walked up to you and shoved you, right? You're probably like, what the heck? Or in a meaner way. Like, what the heck, dude? Or, you know, the other version of it. I wasn't about to say any of that, so I just, you know, stay quiet. The family spoke to my wife. So I was just trying to figure out how to rip off the hanging part of my bumper so I can get the car home. At least. I did make one side comment. And it was, for those, I don't know how you all handle stress. But for me, I like to joke around. Try to make somebody laugh, even myself laugh. So I thought the only person that was nearby was the cop. I forgot what the joke was. I'll be honest. Stacy, thank you for not gifting a membership to yourself. Instead, it went to Pineapple Pizza. Hold on. Can we get Stacy a membership? Hold on. Let's get Stacy a membership. Hold on. Let's get. I'm targeting specifically Stacy with my words. Can we get Stacy one? Oh, to Kale's Bell. Sorry, one more. I just realized none of my alerts are working. I've done it a couple of times. No. We got this. Go on to Stacy. Or Care? Or Naru? Or who you? I know a lot of names that say hi in chat, even like the ones that stop by once in a while. Who's that person? Hold on. Let's see. One more. Just one more for Stacy. Just one more. And we'll call it quits. Yes! Let's go! Oh, wait, no. It went... Stacy, your name showed up afterwards. I was like, oh, I thought it went straight. Trong, you can't say... I don't know what that name was. Those might be lurkers. I'm sorry, lurkers. Welcome on in. To all the lurkers, I love you all. If you are a lurker, say hi once in a while. Just you don't have to say anything else after that. Just so I know who you are. Sorry. Professional streamer right here. Things not to do as a streamer 101. Follow Jenny. Follow anybody else. You will get much better streaming advice. I got a membership several times, even I didn't subscribe to the channel. Even I didn't hear about it. Oh, really? Yes. Hold on. Can I pin? Pin message. Word of advice from Jenny. All right. So I forgot the comment I made. I think it was something about like my dad with the car or something like that. Because those that don't know, I did lose my dad, so this is like the last thing essentially I got from him. So apparently, I found out afterwards the son was in earshot, so I feel bad. About that comment, because what happened was I'm on a virtual course. Sorry, the heart is blocking you. Chongy nosy. Why'd you pin that message? I'm on a virtual course, so it's. I have a question about that in a bit, Stacy. Because I don't know, I work at a college. I have students that take online classes. I know it's not for everybody. I want to know how it is for you. Is it actually boring most of the time, or do you actually find sometimes it's fun with the occasional boring bits? Okay, hold on. Last time we were on this island, Danny had a whole bunch of what'd you call it, thingies, wallpaper. Did he remove it? So I'm not sure if this is considered stalking, because part of me do feel bad for a lady, but because of the accident report, I do have her address. I'm thinking maybe sending like a get well or hope you're doing well gift basket. Or is that creepy? That's creepy, right? Or is that not creepy? Because I know she felt bad for hating my car too. It's boring, but this one is especially boring as I did this exact. Oh, you have to. Oh, Stacey, I'm sorry. You have to repeat a class. That's even worse. So, like the college I work at, there's certain classes you need at least a C plus, and I feel so bad for the students that end up getting a C. And there's classes where you need a B plus, and some students end up getting a B, have to repeat the class. Sometimes I look at the professors like, you could have just bumped it up a little bit. I can give a cheat for a better aimbot to give member. I'll be honest, I don't know if there's any cheat codes for it, Naro. I've heard them all. I tried. I jokingly say, like, sometimes you can say the name and YouTube listens and it'll target the person. So what happened with my car was somehow by some miracle I was able to get it back to my house. And the insurance company, her insurance took, obviously they took responsibility for the car, because my car wasn't even in motion. It was just parked in a parking spot too. So they said they're on Friday they were going to send in yesterday they were going to send an appraiser to take a look at the car and assess the damages. Tell me why 2 days worth of sitting staring at my screen. Happy weekend. Oh, I'm sorry, Stacy. I missed the story, but I'll watch it back later. Grant. Oh, Marie. No worries, Marie. Yeah, it's just like the first hour pretty much is story time. And afterwards, we'll just catch up with everything. Long story short, Marie, this old lady hit my car when it was parked. To catch you up, Marie. Very elderly lady. She mixed up the gas and brake pedal as she left a bank, and ended up hitting my parked car and hitting part of her car into a tree. Let's just say I was not in the right state of mind at the time, so I chose to be quiet instead of saying something, because I'm not sure what would have came out of my mouth, honestly. Because I was mad on the inside. Question about a stream I was in once. How was the hide and seek challenge? Oh, Timothy, how long that was this? When was that stream? How was the hide and seek? Oh man, that was a while. Timothy, you just hit me with the nostalgia. We should play hide and seek one day. Oh, would y'all be up for destroying one the? Hold on. We're gonna derail for a split second before we go back to the story. There is this game called Guess Who. It's an old school game. I think it's an old school game. I don't know if y'all know what the game is. Guess Who? What happened is you would have a board with pictures of people and names on there, and each of you would pick a character, and then you would take turns asking questions back and forth. I was thinking about doing this. I did this before a long time ago with streamer names. I'm thinking about doing this with villagers. And we can play a little game of Guess Who with the villagers between streamers. And invite you all over to play it in person too. That'll be fun, I think. I can reset part of my island to include Guess Who. If y'all are up for it next week. But hide and seek? Because I think I did a few hide and seek challenges. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, Timothy. For the most part, I lost. I think I lost. No, never mind. I take it back. I lost all of them. I don't think I won a single one. Who made the Guess Who D? Oh, I did. It was a while back. I have to find it. Essentially, you put bushes in front of it, so we'll do it next week. I'll just flatten part of one of my islands and figure it out. Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah, that was a long time ago. But with streamer information. But what happened was I noticed a lot of people don't know all the streamers, especially the smaller ones I was putting on there. So it was hard to play Guess Who with that. So I was thinking we can redo it version 2.0 with villagers only, because everyone should be roughly familiar with the villagers. Yeah, villagers work for more. Yeah, that should be fun. Get a few. You can do a little mini tournament too. Get whoever's live to play the game together. Just run over. It'll be fun to watch. So I wouldn't contact until the other thing is set. Yeah, okay. Marie, you're the best. I'm gonna go lurk. Letting you know, trying to enjoy making breakfast, Jenny. Thank you for hang out and chat, and we're making the best pin message ever. So what happened was the appraiser has to come look at the damages, right? The appraiser, I can't make this up, y'all. On the way to see me, the appraiser gets into a car accident. And what I learned later on was the appraiser also got into a car accident the day before doing his job. So in 2 days, this man got into 2 car accidents. So the tow truck company ended up having to tow my car and the appraiser's car to the same repair shop. Let's just say somebody had a talk with the appraiser after we found out why he got into a car accident. The man was texting and driving. I have no idea if he was texting me that he was on his way, but he was texting as the car was moving forward, wasn't paying attention, slammed into the person in front of them. Made cornmeal for breakfast. Oh, I don't know what that is. That sounds good though. I have no idea what that is. It's 519. Oh wow. Oh, Timothy, you must be European. In that case, this scene here I made is perfect for you because I'm driving on, I think, on your side of the road. I put myself on the wrong side of the car. In America, I'll be where Lucky is, and Lucky would be where I am. Um, but greetings from America. Uh, so the tow truck driver, the appraiser didn't help at all. I'll be honest. I don't know if y'all have any advice with the appraiser, but the appraiser pretty much just took pictures like, eh. I'm just gonna say rear end damage and then have the shop look at it. That was no help. So the tow truck driver said because of what happened based on the looks of the car and the value of the car. So the 2014 car now in 24 with the mileage I put on it, which is 130k miles, its value is roughly 5k. So if the damages go well over that, most likely they'll just cut me a check instead. But let's keep it real. I dare you all to look up a car that is well taken care of. I'm emphasizing well taken care of for 5k. And I do not have the budget to put that, because everyone at the scene, every single one person, almost every person I talked to about this had the same response when I tell them the story. Oh, they have insurance, they'll cover it. Yeah, if the damages are minimal, but in the event the car gets totaled, everyone said the same thing. Just use the 5k as down payment. Y'all know how much car costs for monthly installments? And if you do low installments, you know how long the payment plans are going for? You're talking like years. Does your insurance have like total car replacement or something? So, no. This lady's will only essentially cover the damages or just cut the check for the current car value. And yes, I can technically take the 5k and get a 2014 Ford Fusion. But here's the thing. I highly doubt anybody, the majority of people will not babysit their car like I did with my car. I think that's also part of the reason I was all more pissed off than anything else too. Because the majority of people, at minimum, they would just do oil changes and keep up with the bare necessities. Because, you know, life is expensive. So who has money to throw into their cars willy-nilly? That's why I wanted to make sure this car was taken care of so it can last me. I was hoping I'll be one of the few owners out there to have a Ford that actually lasts 500k. Not 130k. So I've been looking. Not many good choices at 5k mark. So that is the story for now. Until I hear back from the car place. I think they're gonna let me keep the rental for like maybe I don't know how long they'll let me keep the rental for if they do total the car. Because then I'll have a time frame essentially to hunt down for a car. And I honestly hate having a time frame for a car because you feel like you have to rush into deals instead of saying like walking away from a deal, you know? Like if you're in a hurry to buy a car, you can go you have to go to a dealership. If you go to a dealership and you're like, all right, I guess that's the only option, I'll take the deal. Whereas if you have all the time in the world, you're like, I'm good. I don't need that. I'll look somewhere else. And then you can haggle with them. Make sure that validation includes the superior condition. I'm gonna forget what you just said, Sprousy, in a bit, so I'm gonna pin that. I'm gonna replace Jenny's pin with your pin so I don't forget. Replace pin message from Sprousy. There we go. Make sure the valuation includes the superior condition. I will check into that. Thank you. Because I don't know what that means, but I will check into that. I wish you some just thanks, Marie. Yeah, my little 2015 Jeep getting a little rust. I did not baby it. See, and I know Amy probably took care of her car too. But that's why I'm saying, like, I baby that car. And it's gonna be hard as heck to find a car that's what, because anytime you buy a car that, let's say, I'm gonna be honest, 8k, maybe to even 10k or below, there are going to be issues with the car. I need to know what the issues are ahead of time. In a perfect world. I hated my car because I had to get one for work quick. Yes, that's I hate when you get rushed into stuff. Like the one of the worst things you can do is rush into a car, rush into a relationship, rush into any major purchases. Need a notebook on your streaming desk for notes? Need a notebook? Rusto, I feel. Wait, what does the notebook have to do with it? Need a notebook on your streaming desk for notes? Wait, what's that one for, Sproutsy? Rusto, I feel like nothing you can do depends on where you live. Yeah, see, not a lot of people know this as well. You can get for those that live in the snowy areas that have a lot of salt on the road, you can spray an undercoat to help protect the frame. Not a lot of people do that. You can bring used cars to your mechanic before buying them. Yes, my mechanics they charge $100 to have it inspect. So whatever car I look at, I'm gonna see if the sellers want to go with me to my mechanic and get it checked out. If it's far away, I'll go to a local mechanic in that area. Instead of pinning oh, see, Sproutsy, I don't know if it's a scam or not, but like I told you, that was my baby, so I was just like, screw it, why not? I'll take the risk. See, there's so many different scams out there, so I don't know what's true and what's not, so I was like, let me not gamble with this one. Oh, Danny has the block thingy. Hold on, I need to block a few of these. My vehicle has an underbody cover to prevent thefts. Oh, I know what you're talking about too. Yeah, especially catalytic converters. Oh, wait, where? Okay, so those that have access to Danny's Island, where is? It was here last week. Where is the whatchamacallit thingies? The wallpapers and flooring. Aw. Oh wow. Look at that. You can see the clouds. Yeah, the coating is just like a little spray. It's just to cover. It's supposed to, if it's not a scam, it's supposed to just protect your the undercarriage from like the corrosion from salt roads that used to melt the snow. Another cheaper option is when you get your car washed, you should at least get your car washed at minimum once a year after the major snowstorms, like around, let's say, March, when the snow season's over, and just to make sure in the car wash they spray underneath your car. I did not know about. Oh, I read the same thing. But cars 101. Honestly, if y'all have a little access to money, the worst thing you can do is spend on a car. There's so many better things to do with money on a cars. Oh, seriously, where is the wallpaper? So next week, would y'all want to do? Well, let's do a poll real quick. Start a poll. Next Saturday for stream, would you like recording for hospital video or guess who design? Curious where everyone is with this. Yeah, I'm gonna get while we're on this thing, we're gonna get things for both setups just in case. Guess who? I think I just need simple panels. So that should be the. Where is it? This Danny's Island. I love he has a magic switch we can go to. But sometimes I feel like this is IKEA in Animal Crossing. Just so much stuff everywhere. And it's easy to get lost. I just need the simple panels. Right? Oh, hold on. Yeah, I need simple panels. Where are they? That's the question. Where are they? Let's see. 75% so sorry says guess who. Alright, so we definitely need the panels. Where are the panels? If y'all see the panels on screen before I do, please yell stop and I'll backtrack. Let's see. My memory is getting so bad. What to be determined with the car, and I hope y'all enjoyed the car story. And thank you to all the VOD watchers watching the stream back. Listening to the journey of my cars. Where is the panels? Or wait. Hold on. I just thought of something. You know, for the villagers, instead of the panels, you know what we could do? Oh, here's the panels. Oh, hold on. You know, instead of the panels, what we could do is the villager pictures. You know what I'm talking about? Like all the villagers, when you best friend, you get pictures. So hold on. Wait. Let's get one of each for now. And what we're going to do is we can get villager pictures. And I think we could do a little testing in a bit before any stream. There should be these thingies here. Let's go with one of these. One of these just to display, or you can go with this. I'm just trying to think of stuff to display the pictures on. Now, Danny has to have a picture frame of somebody or something. Danny has to have a picture frame of somebody or something. Let's see. Where would it be? All right, we have the DIYs. I just want to test one of the picture frames. Just make sure it looks correct. Let's see. You know, sad part is I know a lot of the other streamers have best friended folks on their island, like their favorite villagers list. I have never done any of that. So I don't even have any picture frames of like Lucky or anybody for that matter. Okay, hold on. I'm assuming the things I grabbed, you have picture frames displayed on them. Oh, if we do it on this island. If we do it on this island, we could use the wooden box. Oh, we got this. We could do it on a wooden box. Okay, so we're gonna go with... I wish I came over for the wallpapers. I'm sad we're just not there anymore. We are gonna find a spot on the Lost Race Island. I still want to keep it somewhat usable for the races in case somebody needs it to use the island for a competition in the future. So, but I don't want to delete Deal or No Deal either. So let's see what we can do. Gonna sleep. So Naru, enjoy your sleep. Take care. I know it's late for you. And Timothy too. Let's see where we can put, because Deal or No Deal has a big giant footprint. That's a huge footprint on the island. It's pretty much the middle. Unless we put Guess Who in the front? Maybe? Because Guess Who is... How many people do you need for Guess Who? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 12, 18, 24. Well, on this box it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So we do 30. Where can we put it? I don't know where to put the... Oh man, I don't want to delete deal or no deal. Or just get another switch. Sproutsy. I need to get another car. I need another car, Sproutsy. Hold on. What if we delete where the area where there is deal or no deal temporarily? Right? And then and next week we spend time to put in guess who in that area. So because this space has plenty of space for guess who, so you can put your person here, and then we can see all the villager pictures up there. We don't even need... Oh, we just put it where the numbers are. And then we can rebuild this afterwards. So we'll build guess who, save it as a dream address, because I don't think this island even has a dream address yet. Right there, no dream address. So we can save us a dream address, invite people over to play with each other on stream, and we can even turn it into a little mini tourney if there's enough streamers on Saturday. A changeable area is a good idea. Yeah, this right here, because it won't take that much work, because you can literally use the presents, or we can use something else to cover it, so you can put the presents in front of the picture frames that you knock out the way. But you have space for 3/4 of a board, not 2, so only in... Wait, you only have space for 3/4 of a board, not 2. So what happens is, let's say you and I play Sproutsy. I would load into a dream address, you would load into your dream address, so nobody would actually come over to the island. So it's all through dream address. So that way you would have your person secured. Yeah, you can only play in... Yeah, it would have to be DA only. Because if somebody was to come over and play it, we would have to split sides, essentially. I think, yeah, it's going to be DA just to make it easier. I'm going to get Timothy, thank you for coming by. Much appreciated. I know you said it was like 5 something, probably 6 now. Enjoy your dinner, and then enjoy your sleep. I'm going to be ending fairly shortly soon, too. So, yeah, next week, we're going to do Guess Who, either as a dream address on this island, or I'm going to have to demolish one of my other islands. Sad times. Well, to be determined. But thank you for everyone that came by. Much appreciated by everybody. Next Saturday stream, roughly the same time, maybe a little later, around 11. Give everyone time to wake up. And thank you for listening to the story, y'all. And before we head off, let's just do one more. Just one more membership. I wanted to go somebody in chat that's still here. Well, one person that's currently in chat. Hey, Watari! I was hoping it went to Marie, Sprouty, Amy, or Timothy, or Naru. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. One day it'll hit Marie again. One day it will go to Marie again. Have a good night, y'all. Take care. Bye.